Good morning, welcome to today's RC Coffee Chat. Now, I'm not the cheeriest person of the morning. Apologies for this. I've already recorded this episode once before and the software is being an utter ball bag. So we're doing this again. Happy days. Right, 7 topics for today's RC Coffee Chat, and I'm going to do my best to get this into one cuppa. So with that said, the X-UAV clouds, we've got an update on that. We had the mini Talon build overview, which we saw yesterday, which was published yesterday. There was a vote around the Tyrannus QX-X7. The WOMBAT, you'll need the shades for that, I assure you, has been painted. We have a Seagull Edge 540 being converted across to electric. The next topic is build sickness. And we can scrub the last topic. So like I said, we need to get this down into one cuppa so it comes out at a sensible time for you. So yeah, yesterday was a bit of a frustrating day. The X-UAV clouds turned up. Now if you've not seen the quick overview episode for the first faults, I've been and published that on my YouTube channel. Do go and take a few moments to have a quick look. That is a full like a mini overview to the X-UAV clouds. It did turn up dented. Now, I did shoot bang good in emails saying what the WTF, put it that way. And I also shot X-UAV an email directly to try and nudge them in the right direction to put better boxes around this model. Now, the irony is that I haven't heard back from Bang Good yet. So it was about this time yesterday, which I emailed them, and 48 hours, we'll hear back from them, I'm sure. But X-UAV, wow, the guy added me almost immediately on Facebook, and we had a good old chit chat on Messenger. Yeah, he's taken on the suggestion of putting better boxes. After having received a mini Talon and seeing the triple wall boxes which they use for that, I was really surprised on a model which was much more expensive that they'd used a cheaper box component for it. So he's actually going to get, so Finn, thank you by the way, Finn's going to get in contact with Bang Good and get them to double box them, or make the suggestion that they double box them in the future. And also, they also did take on my suggestion as well of not gluing in the wing spars into the model, so that as I've got it over there on the bench, I've just been cutting out the receiver, and it would have been a lot blooming easier for me to just go straight down and catch up with the run which goes across the wing, so that I could run the cables through. But no, I've now got to go out around the servo and down and try and pick it up with it later on, which is a bit of a ball bag, to be honest. So that feedback has been sent to not only Banggood but also X-UAV. So yeah, not the end of the world. It's just a few little dent marks on the top. Obviously, we would all like our models to turn up in pristine condition. So the feedback has been sent not only to Banggood but also X-UAV directly too. So, and I was really impressed by X-UAV. Big hat tip to the guys over there. Really appreciate that. So yeah, next topic. The mini Talon build overview episode was also published yesterday as well. That's got everything which I'd learned about the mini Talon included in there, and that's a full walkthrough from like the back of the model to the front of the model. And yeah, if there's only one tip which you pick up away from that build episode or that build overview, is maximum separation of all the components. And I've seen people with like their receiver right on top of the ESC, and I'm thinking, why you do that, man? The ESC and the motor are like the two noisiest components, and then you stick your receiver right on top of it. Didn't do it for me, so please take a leaf out of my book and go for maximum separation. So on the back of the model, we have the strobe, the ESC and the motor. We have the video transmitter out on one wing, we have the receiver on the opposite, and then we have the GPS at the front of the wing. I know it is quite a big model, but everything is now got maximum separation between all the components. So if there's only two tips actually: maximum separation for receiver, video transmitter, motor and ESC, and GPS if you have that on board. Also, for goodness sake, never put that silver film on top of it, because it really did disappear into the sky. I need to go and put some black stripes onto my wings so that it's more easily identifiable from the ground, because if you get it on the right angle, you just don't see it. It just disappears into the sky. Fantastic model, by the way, and the maiden episode will be out shortly. Next topic is that we had a vote in the Facebook group about me purchasing one of the Taranis QX X7 transmitters, and the irony was there is that you voted no, in preference of buying some different models instead. So that's actually what I've already done, but you'll find out about that later. And yeah, thank you for your feedback in the Facebook group. I really do appreciate that. Next topic is the WOMBAT. She has been painted. Now, we will need our sunnies for this model because she is rather violently bright. I don't think I could have chosen a brighter colour. Now, goodness knows what this is going to do on that webcam, because this is orange and this is a whole new league of orange. So I pinned her up yesterday, put the little hexagons on there, and it's come out fantastically well. I absolutely love this orange colour, but not as much as the blue on the bottom. Wow, jeez, that's bright. I really do love that blue. Now, I bought that blue. It's one of their fluorescent ones from Whole Foods, a car parts company here in the United Kingdom. I did spray the actual model with a Ford Diamond White underneath as well, so it's like an off-white colour. And that came out really, really nice, and it gave a really good colour bed for these brighter colours in on top. And I was thinking about making these wings to go out on the side, and then I thought, screw it, I can't be bothered to cut them out, and I wanted to get this model up and flying as soon as I could. So that's the bottom of her, and the top does look super cool. Now, frankly speaking, I have made a screw up, and I will learn from this one in later builds, is that do not, and I stress, do not use Sharpie markers on your model, especially if you're using white foam, because I thought that the paint was going to go over that, and unfortunately we've still got the outline of the motor mount here and one of the lines over this side as well. It really didn't mask, the paint did not mask the Sharpie pen, so I learned a valuable lesson during this build. Do not use Sharpie pens in any great degree on white EPO foam. But that said, it looks absolutely mental. She is going to look absolutely amazing in the sky. There'd be no miss in this one. Not only because of the colour, but also because of the noise, because I'm going to run a D2826 2200 kV motor on the back on 4S with a 6x4 prop, and we're going to wreck the sky. New one with the WOMBAT. So there she is. Yeah, she gets lammed up today. In short, it's actually, there's a few complicated bits around the booms, but not that hard. Just takes a bit of time and a little bit of planning. By the way, I'll be starting at the booms first and then working towards the centre. So I'll do the booms, both sides. Then I would do the whole section in here. So I'll probably do one piece on the bottom around, and then another piece on the top around as well, and then do the wings last. So that's my plan. And by the way, I will do the bottom of the wings first and then do the top, so there's some nice fold around on her. Now I do need to find my can of 3M Super 90. I can't find it for pudding in here this morning, so I need to go and root that out and make, obviously from there, hook up the FPV camera on the front, 2 little screws in there, put the heat shrink tube in on top of the ESC, put the motor in, the receiver and the video transmitter, the plugs are all there ready waiting for her, and make a little flap for the top up here to keep the battery in place, and solder on an XT60 connector in, and she's ready to go. So yeah, quite a few tasks actually left for that one, and I probably should do a catch-up video on that one before I go and hit lamb, because the last episode which I recorded for her is that I hadn't glued it all together, and now I've already been glued and painted it. Oops-a-daisy. Right, next topic is a Seagull Edge 540. Now, I bought this model off eBay quite some time ago, and I mean quite some time ago. It must be a good like 7 months, maybe more, and I paid about £70 for this Edge 540, and it's a balsa stroke ply construction, and also a big Harrier 3D model as well. I thought that was fantastic value for money, and it had been previously run as IC. I'm not an IC guy. I don't, it's just a lot of noise. And no, let me get this right. Okay, IC sounds fantastic, and also with like a smoke trail, it looks fantastic as well. But I've got to be brutally honest, IC, it really isn't for me. I've come back into this hobby many years in advance, many years later, and all the fast and the fuff, not for me. I much prefer electric. So this one's going to be converted to 6S. The reason why it's going to 6S is because I've got a 5045 motor which is going on the front, which is 500 kV. So we need 6S to get the RPM up to a manageable level for that one, and it will be running a 15x8 propeller. I've had all the parts for a very long time, and yesterday I was thinking, I've had enough. It's been there for too long. She needs to get up there and get flying. And I pinged actually Andrew. I'll put a link to his YouTube channel in the video description. I said, Andrew, do you fancy doing a fuel to electric conversion? And he said, yeah, he sounded like kind of curious on it. So happy days. Yeah, Andrew popped round yesterday and picked this one up. I'm going to leave him with the challenge of doing it. I'm sure we will come to a trade at some point on for converting it for me. But it is a straightforward build. There is a bit of lamb hanging off and stuff like that. But frankly, I don't care. It just needs to get flyable, because a model here, if it's not getting flown, it needs to go. And this one's been in my cellar for far too long, and it's about time we get her out and get it built. And the reason for that is, like I'm sure many of you know, that one of my personal goals for this year is to improve the accuracy of my flying. So I would like to start learning and playing more with 3D, and also to have a bash at some precision aerobatics as well. And the reason why I'm saying precision, because it's bloody tough. A couple of the girls and boys up at the clubs, they can fly fantastically well, and they can pull off perfect routines. And I know that has taken a lot of time and experience that has gone into that, and it looks amazing in the sky. And if I can get myself somewhere near it, then I'm going to be frankly happy boy, and I'm going to be using this one along with the Reactor and the Hummer 3D, the FMS Edge 540, basically as all trainer models for me to get my skills up to a good level. So that's my goal for this year, is to improve not only my 3D, but also have a damn good bash at some precision aerobatics as well. By the way, that does lead on to trying to go for my B test. I've already passed my A test, or the BMF A test, here in the United Kingdom. I would also like to pass my B test at some point too. And the last topic for today, and like I said, I am trying to keep this to a 1 cuppa episode. Now, I would take a sip, but it's stone cold because it's been a while, because I've tried re-rendering the previous episode which I recorded, and it just wouldn't go through. So the last topic for today is, I don't want you to take this one as a negative, and I've also realised that I haven't plugged in or turned on the light, so apologies for the crap lighting. That should be better. Yeah, I don't want you to take this one as a negative. It's just where I am, and I'm quite an honest person. I'd like to share where I am right now. Right now, I'm in build sickness mode. I've got a whole collection of models, either being built or to be built, and it is kind of catching up with me. I know that for me, there's like 4 stages of this hobby. You have the design stage. I know some people like designing models. Some people really get into that. Some people, probably you, enjoy the build stage, the actual building of the models. Some people just enjoy the flying part, and unfortunately, the 4th part of this hobby is the repair stage, which unfortunately, no matter how good, or I'm not going to say bad, inexperienced you are, you also do have the repair stage as well. I'm firmly planted, personally, in I love the flying stage. I love being on the flight line, I love FPV, and I love just spanking models around the sky. And I'm starting to get a bit sick at the moment, because it is now 7:55 and there is no sign of the sunshine coming up. I like getting up in the morning. I'm still looking back at the summer and thinking, at 5 o'clock in the morning it was getting light. And I know it's going to get lighter faster, but yeah. So my point being is that I'm in build sickness stage at the moment. And don't get me wrong, I mean nothing bad by like the clouds which I've got over there on the workbench, or the Wombat's going to be mental, and I'm really happy. Look at her, she just looks absolutely amazeballs. And goodness knows how bright that is on the camera for you. But I am getting a bit of build sickness stage at the moment, and we are just slowly chipping away at these. And frankly honest, I'd just rather be flying. I genuinely would rather be flying, and the build stage for me is a necessary evil so I can go out and fly. So hey ho. So that's where I am at the moment. I'm just frustrated. I've got so much on the build bench to get done, and I'm slowly chipping away at each ones. And I genuinely want to say a massive thank you to Andrew. Andrew, take your time on the Edge 540. Like I said yesterday, there's no rush at all. The thing is that if you convert that one for me, it's gonna get done a lot damn faster than me doing it. And it's such a fantastic model, and it's such a waste of a model just being sat in my cellar. And again, I've got no room here for any wall hangers or anything like that. And yeah, I know I got my Tech Sumos up on the wall there, but it's not really like flying season for them at the moment. And for the last 3 months, I've done the hardcore FPV every single time I've been out. So model like this needs to be flown. So Andrew, I'd like to say a massive thank you for taking that one, and take your time on it. And again, like I said, it will get done faster if you do it than what I do it. And I'm sure we're going to come up with a trade for something for that one in the, for you converting that one to me in the future. Anyway, we'll have a chit chat about that. So that was today's RC Coffee Chat. I have purposely done this one a lot quicker than the previous one. The other one came in at about 2 cups of coffee, about 30 minutes. So to quickly recap, the X-UAV Clouds, genuinely impressed with their customer support. Banggood have yet to be back to me, but then I know that they normally take 24 to 48 hours to come back to me. And the feedback has been passed on to X-UAV. Better box, and please do not glue in the wing spars, because that is really annoying, because it means that now I've literally just been playing with it while I've been waiting for the other episode to keep failing to be rendered. I've got to work around that and then try and catch up with it later on in the wing, which is quite frustrating. I would have much preferred for those wing spars not to be glued in, because it would have made the build go a lot more quickly and also a lot more seamlessly as well, like visually underneath the wings. We also had the mini Talon build overview. And by the way, if you'd like to have a look at the clouds, there is a first look episode out on the YouTube channel right now. Also, there is a fully edited version which is in progress at the moment. That's a topic which I'll leave for tomorrow about some of the editing. Anyway, the mini Talon overview is on the YouTube channel. Do go and take a look at that one. It did take me quite a while to build this one, mainly because I decided to laminate it. I am happy that I now laminated that model just because of the crappy weather we got here in the United Kingdom. So for 50 quid, and by the way, that model is still on sale on Banggood. I will put a link to that model in the video description. It is a lot of model for not a lot of money, and I think I paid, because I also used, I can't remember if it was a voucher or something else, I think I personally paid £36.25, something like, for that model out of the EU warehouse. So you can use discount codes on top of the already discounted price, I believe, for the mini Talon. So look out for a couple of those. I think it was FP21, FP23, some current codes for Banggood off the top of my head. So yeah, fantastic value for money for the mini Talon. But just be aware, she likes to fly fast, which is maybe why I like that model quite a lot. Oh yeah, the fully edited maiden episode will be out shortly. You voted no to, well, the majority of you voted no to me getting a Tyrannus QX7 for review. And that, by the way, that was me going to buy it out of my own money and then review it. So yeah, the way it is, I can already tell you that will be the transmitter of 2017. It looks absolutely fantastic. Don't have the little sliders on it. Missing one's 2 switches on the top. It's got these pointless little pots on the top, which I never use. So yeah, and it runs OpenTX. Brilliant software. The Wombat has been painted. She is here next to me, and that is that bright. It really is bright in that light, that's for sure. Looks fantastic. I will get it laminated up today. I will be starting at the back and working forwards. I'll do the booms like I mentioned, then I'll do the fuselage, then I'll do the underside, and I love that blue. That Twin Zoo is going to be blue. I like that blue a lot. It's come out really nice. And then coming back to the topic, I'll laminate the underside and then laminate the top to finish her off and get her wired up, and then we'll get her in the sky. So that one is on the home straight. The Seagull Edge 540, fantastic looking model, really, really nice, and a big hat tip to Andrew for taking on that project for me. Thank you ever so much. I really do mean that. And the last topic is that, yeah, frankly speaking, like I mentioned, there's those 4 stages. You have like design, you have build, you have fly, and you have repair. Unfortunately, we all have repair. That's the way it is. Some people just love the build stage and they love building models and scared of flying them. For me, personally, I am firmly planted in the camp. I would much rather be flying models than building models, and that's just me being brutally honest. So I can't wait for this one to get finished, because I've been chipping away at her for a couple of weeks now, on and off. And again, because I'm trying to do other things at the same time as well. It's not a complex build. It's quite straightforward now looking back at it. There's nothing rocket science in there. It was all about the C of G. That was my only challenge for that model, and I feel that I've got that well licked now. Yeah. And that 48 which I've been building, well, it's kind of a roadblock because I've been doing other things, but straightforward build. A couple of holes, glue some wings together, stuff a motor mounter in, and it's all straightforward. It just saps quite a lot of time. And again, I'm at probably one of my busiest times of the year with what I'm doing in the day-to-day operations. So anyway, that was today's RC Coffee Chat. Thank you ever so much for joining me. I'm going to toast you to a sip of coffee, but I won't be taking it because it's stone cold. And on that note, I shall see you tomorrow about the same time, hopefully earlier. And on that note, from myself, Matt, cheerios!